Hello and welcome to the Gone Traveling Show. We are looking at round 6 of the BKT EuroCup. The road to greatness is what we are upon. With me this week is Sergio Llebres. Sergio, how are you doing?
Hi, David. Another good round, and with the news that Valencia was like rescheduling the game, because of the floods and
Yes. So for those who might not be
yeah,
aware, the week has definitely been overshadowed. Tragic, heavy rains and flooding. At least at time of recording, at least 95 people have been killed. Yeah, basically a year's worth of rain in about 8 hours in parts of Valencia. Valencia, of course, and asked to have the game against Lietkabelis suspended, canceled, postponed, which EuroCup, of course, EuroLeague agreed with. Just horrible situation. Sergio actually lives in Valencia, so sort of has firsthand. Um, Maybe just your thoughts in general about how things are going there, and obviously it's just happened, but just how sort of the feeling around there right now.
yeah. Of course, basketball isn't the main thing right now in Valencia or in the country. Now the situation is going to the south of the country, to Andalusia, Jerez, and other towns there. Also, it's going up to Catalonia. But I think here is like Valencia isn't prepared to have like the amount of rain that drops in a year for one day. Literally, the amount of 1 year dropped in one day, and the rain, the water rain went down to the towns of the south of Valencia. For example, La Fonteta, the pavilion of Valencia Basket, and the headquarters are very in the south. So Valencia is very next to those towns, and well, the club tried to help the people that were in a bad situation. People were sleeping in the facilities of Valencia Basket, La Alquería del Basket, where the teams train there. And well, it's the round it's overshadowed for because of this, but we had some games to talk about, and I think we had a lot of surprises here to this round with Aris, also Besiktas disappointing another time. So let's talk about it, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, let's let's try to bring some people a little bit of joy in the region, and also basketball fans who are heavy-hearted, looking at the situation, and our thoughts go out to those who are impacted by the situation in Valencia and the region, and hopefully everything returns to some form of normality as quickly as possible. I know after flooding is that's the rain and everything, the flooding going through one is one thing, but then the cleanup and rebuilding of entire lives is another thing that has to be definitely unimaginable, and how to tackle that. Like Sergio said, it was really a fantastic week of action. Loads of really exciting games, a couple of surprises. Group A is still tight. Bahcesehir and Gran Canaria at 5-1. Tel Aviv, Ulm at 4-2. Valencia, as we mentioned, had their game postponed. They're still undefeated. Borg lost again, and we'll talk about that. And they are tied at 4-2 with Jerusalem and Cedevita. And we have a team that actually won their first game, Hamburg. We'll talk about them a little bit later. And there's one team that's left winless, and that is still uh, Trefl Sopot, our Polish team here. And actually, I'll start with them first. And they've had such a yeah, I mean, kind of bad luck competition so far. I mean, you look at so they lost 79-67, so minus 12. So their first losses were by a total of 20 points, two overtime losses, and they had Bahcesehir, who we talked about last week as really the probably the biggest contender to beat Valencia maybe for this whole thing.
Yeah.
And they had them on the ropes, it was 49-46, at the end of the third quarter. And then, kind of Jillian Smith kind of happened, he ended up with 5 threes, 22 points. And they just showed that they're, that much stronger, have that much more, experience and everything else. This is the first time that Trefl is in this competition in ages, and Bahcesehir has all of these former EuroLeague guys, and so Bahcesehir is right there waiting for Valencia. Wait, sorry, no, they're in Group A. That they're
Yeah.
just right there at the top of Group A. Gran Canaria is right there at 5-1. So uh, an impressive win by Bahcesehir that they could really kind of pull away against a Trefl Sopot team that you just have to, shake your head and say, "Oh man, another close one."
Yeah, and Bahcesehir, I was looking for the box score because I remember that uh, there were like only 5, 6 guys playing against another 5, 6 guys in total because the rotations were very poor. I think they weren't deep enough. Like in Bahcesehir, from the guys who scored, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys scored more than 10 points, and in total the team the in total there was 7 guys who scored. It was Seamus Heiser with 3 points, and then Tyler Kavanagh with 5. He played 26 minutes, but then we have 5 guys who scored, and that's it. And they were double digits. And in Trefl Sopot,
The
I
five starters.
yeah, only the starters. I think one of the main problems in this team is they don't have guys to rely on for the 40 minutes, and that's one of the main things that happen in this game. They cannot compete for 40 minutes every time against teams like Bahcesehir because rotations aren't deep enough, and that's when they suffer the most, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's quality and depth. I mean, you can have maybe four or five guys that can maybe compete for a good amount of time, but then it's you know, um, you have Bajasir coming with Simonovic off the bench, Ponitka off the bench,
Yeah,
Udiese off the bench. It's like these are guys that are yearly guys, and they're coming off the bench.
a
So
matter
it's
of
just
resources. Yeah.
yeah. All right, your game that you want to talk about.
I wanted to talk about obviously about the Spanish clash, Joventut against Gran Canaria. Gran Canaria took it to the overtime and then won in another overtime this season. We have to remember they beat Bahcesehir uh, almost at the buzzer, and now they beat Joventut with another clutch performance by Nico Brusino. Brusino is always in the clutch for Gran Canaria since I know him.
Mr. Big Shot.
Yeah, I remember last season in Copa del Rey, they were in extremis against Valencia, and Brusino hit a triple in the buzzer, and they went to the overtime, and then We have him again with 8.1 seconds left, and then Gran Canaria secured the win with a Joventut that falls to 3-2 record, and now Gran Canaria is 4-1, and the defensive resilience and the free throws in the fourth quarter were the key for Gran Canaria. Their defense intensified, forcing Juventud to the bonus and then cutting the deficit. Mike Tobey scoring from the line, Caleb Homlessy being perfect in the perimeter. And yeah, an overtime execution that Gran Canaria capitalized in their hands, and they maintained the composure, and they had a good late effort in the game. And Juventud, another day, another disappointment for them. Now they are dropping to the eighth place in the Group A, and it seems like Ante Tomic is the only one who plays for Juventud right now, and he's the only one shining for the Catalonians.
Yeah, Joventut's going to be looking for answers really
Yeah,
quickly. You'd have to imagine that they would try to bring in. I think they need a score. It's been
yeah,
over the years that they've when they don't play well, it's usually because they don't have a score. 2-4 right now, and that's not what they with that club has in mind.
no,
Brasino's a guy that helped Gran Canaria win the Euro Cup 2 years ago. He missed his first six threes and then overtime, 83 seconds left, 8.1 seconds left. I'll hit him anyhow. There was the second one with 8.1 seconds left to really kind of secure the win. Great save by Albise. Holmesley had lost the ball, and
mhm.
Albise kind of tipped it back to Holmesley, who then passed it along to Brasino. So yeah, Gran Canaria is still right there at 5-1, and yeah, it's that Group A is a fun one. All right, player, I will let you start.
Okay. I have one performance that I liked a lot. It was Marcus Foster. He really doesn't give to Hapoel Tel Aviv more than scoring. He only looks at the basket, and that's the only thing he does. And in Hapoel Tel Aviv's win against Buducnost, this was a very good game. I had it noted because it seemed like Buducnost could at least fight for the win. Then Hapoel won by 20 points, 92 to 72. And Marcus Foster was one of the keys to get that advantage because he was perfect in his shots until he missed the last one. In 23 minutes, he made 23 points with only one miss in the triple, 5 out of 6. He has been so important in these two last wins, 41 points in both in total, with 7 out of 11 three-pointers against Trento and now Buducnost. And we gotta also mention the impact of Jonathan Motley. He's going to be, I think, the MVP of the round with 39 PIR. So both offense at crucial moments were key. Motley scored 9 of the team's 11 last points before halftime, and then he appeared again when Buducnost got near from Apoel with they were 78-65, and then Motley appeared with the next 12 points still in the victory. But in every quarter there was Marcus Foster points to rely on, and my performance of the week goes to him because of his efficiency. There was points that were from only his hands. His production of the dribble was amazing, and his confidence also. So we gotta have an eye on him because he's got 41 points in 2 games, and I don't know what's going to be next in next round.
Yeah, and I think if you're Hapoel Tel Aviv, you have to be happy that you won this game. You won it by 20, even though the combination of Beverly and Wainwright went scoreless.
Yeah,
So if you can win a game by 20 points with 40% of your starters, not scoring, you know you have to thank 53 points from those two guys, Foster and Motley. I'm going to move to
what's yours?
Marcio Santos for Ulm. There's a shocker, Dave, talking about Ulm. But yeah, Santos was, in my eyes, actually, because we didn't really know exactly what Saraf was going to be. And you also didn't know how much Asang was going to be able to do. I really thought Santos could be one of the contenders for the Rising Star. He won't turn 22 until November 1st, so right around the corner, and really came and shined for the first time. 23 points, three-pointers, 11 rebounds, and showed what he can do. The outside shooting, the excellent footwork around the paint, around the basket, and being able to really give them Ulm some size they need. They don't have much size, so he's really important for them. And so 23 points in a 2-point win over Trento, definitely have to look at him as my guy that I want to talk about. That's another guy from Brazil for Ulm. They had Felicio, they had the two Brazilians, Caboclo and Santos, Iago Santos, who helped Ulm win the title. And last year, Jorginho de Paula was there. So the pipeline of Brazil looks like they found another gem there with Marcio Santos.
Yeah, he went off the bench. And also having this opportunity for Ty Harrelson to have some guys, young guys that come off the bench and give this efficiency and this quality to the rotation is it's key. So 2 points only of advantage against Trento. Trento had for pushing a lot in the scoring area. He was pushing the team, but performances like the Marcio Santos make teams win. A very solid double-double, and we were waiting for a performance like this from him because he started kind of slow. Statistical wise, he started kind of slow in some games, but now this is one of his best performances of the season, if not the best.
Definitely the best so far. All right, surprise. Who's your surprise player that you want to talk about?
Yeah, in the line of surprises, because we needed to talk about the Hamburg win, because I think it's mandatory to talk about the first win of the team in round six. I gotta bring up Kur Kuath. I think he's been one of the most regular guys in Hamburg. He's been dynamizing the rotation, the paint for the Germans. Hamburg didn't have any win, and they start was kind of disappointing because they had some good games in the BBL. Everyone thought that they could surprise in the Euro Cup with some win, seeing what they did in domestic competition. And I gotta go with Kur Kuath because he was the best of his team in the first win. And I think Kur Kuath doesn't need the team to make impact. He always brings to the table what the team needs, but in this case was effective. Hamburg had 15 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 blocks from him. He was outstanding in both sides of the floor, and they got the win against Turk Telecom, 89-77. Another Turk Telecom disappointment. Since they faced Valencia, I think they don't are on really on track, and now Kur Kuath, his defense complemented Hamburg's aggressive play style, and they had I think a lot of times happens that when you defend well, when your defense is aggressive, your team globally attacks better, and this was the case. Hamburg made 18 3-pointers, and when you're confident in the defensive side, you can control the game on offense, and this was the case. They were exceptionally efficient from the 3-point line with 18 3-pointers, and Kur Kuath may had some impact on it because of his defense and his help against a strong opponent like Kyle Alexander, because he was one of the main centers of the EuroCup this season. And second game, he was reduced to less than 10 points and 10 rebounds.
Yeah, first win since December 2024. No, is that right? No, 2023. And first home win since March 2023. Great story, Kuath is.
Yeah.
Led South Sudan to Cairo, and went to two different community colleges, two universities in the States. Greece as a rookie, then went to the Leb Gold, second division in 2023, second in the league in blocks last year, helped Lleida to win the Leb Gold title and earned promotion to the ACB, and then signed a 2-year contract with Hamburg, and is second in the EuroCup in blocks, and really making a huge contribution to that team. My surprise, I guess it's not really totally surprise because he is Greek international, but Vassilis Toliopoulos, I needed a reason to talk about Aris beating Borg, and yeah, 91-88, and Borg now have lost two in a row. 21.6 threes, 4 assists. The captain has 3.7 3-pointers a game, leading the league, and coming off the bench too. He's shooting 42% on 3-pointers. Has had games of 6 of 8 and 6 of 9. He was 6 of 9 against Borg. So he's a guy that can really make a major, change the game really quick. And he has the most threes taken and made in the league. And last season he shot 36% on 3-pointers, so he's definitely taken a jump. So that's who I have. Toliopoulos, they're in the fight. Aris is for the playoffs. They are right now at 2-4 as the top 2-4 team, and behind two teams that are 3-3. So in Group B, so it's a fight there to maybe see who can grab one of those final spots. Kind of running out of time. Let's run down really quick then the round 7, looking ahead. I'll let you start with maybe the game or two, whatever that you're kind of looking at.
Yeah, the game I'm looking at is for Bahcesehir hosting Hapoel Tel Aviv. Big tests after a solid amount of rounds we have now for round 7, and we can see one of the main battles for number 1 spot in Group A. I think maybe we had in our minds that Spanish teams could battle for this. I think Gran Canaria is also on the table right now, but I think it's going to be about Bahcesehir and Hapoel until the regular season ends, and this may be one of the direct games that affects to the table. we have a lot of EuroLeague caliber names here also. I think this is a very low table EuroLeague clash we have here. And the best three shooting team from 3-point, that is Bahcesehir with 41%, is going to play against the second best team in efficiency near the rim with 62% from 2-pointers. So it's going to be a interesting class here.
Yeah, this is a big boy game. The three other games, two teams, 2 and 4, Trento and Joventut. Kind of talked about Joventut. Turk Telecom taking on Cluj, 3 and 3, both of those teams. And then the other big game, another big game in Group B is Cedevita hosting Borg. Both teams are at 4 and 2. Yeah, so plenty of highlights expecting us in round 7. Sergio, why don't you let everybody know really quick where they can find you on social media, and we'll get out of here.
Yeah, Llebres 11, Llebres 11.
And I am at Hein News, HeinNews. We are out. The road to greatness. We'll see you next week.